Hey everybody, Kyle with Kyle's Project Cars here. Going to be working on the 6.0 F250 I got. So the other day I was driving down the road and truck would get up to about 2,000 RPMs and just start like surging and bucking and everything. So I went ahead and plugged in the SCT scanner and I'll show you what kind of codes it was getting. Alright, so these are the codes I was getting. So the one is for the EGR, I know what that one is. And we have this one, throttle control, circuit A, out range performance, and then throttle position sensor minimum stop performance. So I went ahead and did some looking, and what it seems like is there is a plate inside of this elbow right here, and it seems like it's only on the 0304s. And when you do your EGR delete, what it does, or when you have your EGR, it's a plate in there that flips back and forth that regulates the flow to help the EGR. But since this truck is deleted with the EGR, it's not needed. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop the elbow off, and I'm going to go ahead and take the butterfly out. There's you can buy the 05 and up elbow for it, but I don't feel like buying that right now. Maybe down the road. So right now I'm just going to take the butterfly off and see what happens. Alright, so a few tools you'll need is you'll need a 10mm socket, you need an 8mm socket, and an 11mm socket. So you're going to use your 11mm right there to get the intercooler pipe off, and then you'll use the 8mm. There's going to be 4 bolts that hold down this elbow, sorry. 3 of them are 8mm, and then the one back here is a 10mm. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop this elbow off, and then we'll take a look inside and see what we're working with. Alright, so there's our little valve right there. It should cycle when you hit the ignition. I'm going to go ahead and see if it cycles, and then we'll go ahead and remove this. Alright, so we just seen it close and did not open back up, but this should be my issue right here. So I'm going to go ahead and take these 2 little Torx screws out right here and remove this plate. It should just take these 2 bolts out, and then this should slide out. It's not needed. If I was to get the 05, this whole plate would be replaced with the elbow, but I have a bunch of other work I'm getting ready to do this truck. That'll be in another video, and this elbow will probably be part of that. If it's not, then it will be a later date item. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my Torx, get this out, and then see if we can clear these codes. Alright, so you want to hold this down, and it's a T15 Torx, I believe. Yep, T15 Torx. And you want to hold it down because you don't want anything falling in your motor. So just unscrew it. And get it out of the way. Then do the other one. Grab my ratchet. It broke. And drop the camera while I'm doing it. Not what I was planning on doing. And then just work this out. Cool. Let it up, make sure you keep some pressure on it. When it comes out, that just slides out, and there you go. So the plate's removed. I'm going to go ahead and put this elbow back on and clear the codes, take it for a ride, and see if it clears it. Alright, so driving down the road a little bit, it gets above 2,000 RPMs now. Before it wouldn't do that. Now it's not doing too bad. It's actually going above 2,000 without causing any trouble. So I'm going to wait till it gets all the way up to temperature and see how it's doing. But before this would happen, it seemed to be running a little rough too. It seemed to be running a whole lot better now. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to drive it, bring it up to temperature, bring it up to operating speed and everything, see how things go. And hopefully this caused it. We'll check the codes when we get back to the house, see if it threw the code again. But it seems to be running a whole lot better than it was. So hopefully this fixed the problem, and I'll maybe get the Alright, so took it for a ride and got back, and it did throw another code. It was the P0488, the EGR, throttle control sensor A, range performance. I'm wondering if it's just throwing that code just because it still thinks that butterfly's there, but it didn't throw the other code because it's not closing up. But I'm going to go ahead and keep driving it and see if it works out. But go ahead and I hope this helps somebody. Please subscribe. I have a lot more plans coming for this truck. I'm going to do a full video on the truck before I go ahead and start doing a bunch of work to it. I've already done a ton of work to this truck since I've had it. I just haven't really had time to record anything on it. But go ahead and like and subscribe, and there will be more to come for this truck.